to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Rogio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Lucky. This is Speed Scene Live. We have got so much stuff to do tonight. We've got guests, we got racer interviews, we got B-roll, we got free giveaways. But before we get all that going, I'm going to introduce you to Diana Might. She's the heart, the soul of the show.
Well, thank you, Lucky.
Well, maybe just the heart.
Happy to be here.
Maybe just the heart.
Maybe just the heart.
I don't know what to say about it.
And Bruce Barker over there, who's our technical genius.
Hello. What is going on, friends?
There you go. There you go. Later on tonight, we will be bringing Hot Rod Bob Beck in. He's got a great segment. But first, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on this weekend at Auto Club Dragway Fontana. The NMCA West will be having the first event of the year. There's going to be drag racing. There's going to be a vendor area. There's going to be autocross. There's all kinds of great stuff. We're also going to talk a little bit about an upcoming event at Pomona. That's right. You heard me correct. Pomona. Woo. NMCA West will be racing at Pomona, and that will be May 15th and 18th. This is your chance to race at that historic track.
And let's not forget, April 19th, Lucky's going to be racing the Match Race Madness at Verona. Come on down and cheer him on. Well, he's going to be racing a young lady, and she's going to be live in studio on April 1st. Right, Lucky?
That's right, and she was down there testing this last weekend. I heard her car was running really great, so I'm looking forward to meeting her and her husband here in the studio and seeing them at the track, and 2 out of 3 heads up. We'll see what happens.
All right, so you're not saying, though, that you're going to do the racing here in the studio?
No. You know what? But maybe we'll get a little guff going back and forth between the two of them, kind of like boxers before a fight. Bruce, what do you think?
You know what? Guff is good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
And if I'm in the middle, I'll just be the little instigator.
Shame, man. I'm doing that thing that people do that I never knew what it meant.
The little finger. Yes.
Yeah,
I remember my grandmother told me a story one time about the finger on the airplane, and it was this. Someone was giving her it was the pointer, and she's like, I don't understand why they're doing that, Diana.
Well, hey, this is some video of Joe Lepone right here in his Pro Street car. He is
that beautiful purple Duster. Let's not forget ANRA season opener. That's April 11th through the 13th. That's going to be at the Auto Club Raceway Famosa.
Ooh, that's going to be so good. Edelbrock revved up for Kids Car Show coming up May 3rd, so you got time to do some polishing at the Edelbrock Garage. Stop by, say hi to Lucky. He's going to be in the booth. Get a Speed Scene Live sticker, maybe 2 if you beg.
Hey.
I shouldn't say
so
that.
will he put it on the car himself?
Maybe for women drivers.
Bend over and place it on the car like he's always saying I'll do for them?
Well, see, you do that so well. I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say. May 3rd.
Not a replacement for Dynamite.
Yeah, come on, Lucky. Give it to us.
I wish Joe Lepone was in studio because, he could handle that, as you call it, guff.
That guff.
Between you and him.
Yes.
I'm no Joe Lepone. I can look at his car. I can enjoy how great it is. I can see how fast it is. But you know what? I can't drive that car like he can handle you.
He's a big 6'6" hunk of burning love. Joe, you out there listening to us, honey?
Oh, man. There you go. Well, hey, also May 3rd, the High School Drags Challenge will be at Fontana, and we will be talking about that on an upcoming show. We're going to tell you a little bit more about that. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I love this car.
I know, it's sort of like a blue and red version of yours.
It is. Hey, I would like to introduce our guest tonight. We are so fortunate to have Camee Edelbrock from NMCA. Camee, welcome to Speed Scene Live tonight.
Hey, thank you. It's great to be here. And Lots of fun.
We're looking forward to talking to you about the upcoming events. And, of course, we've got Rollie. He is the National Event Director. Rollie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
National Event Director. What does that entail, Rollie?
That's everything from the planning and staging of the event, scheduling it with the track, all the way to running the event during the event, from the tech department to staging to the track prep to you name it, it falls in our department.
Dang, that's a lot of work.
He's a very important guy.
That is a lot going on. Now, Rollie, you're a guy that's been around NHRA. You've been around a lot of racing, and you know just how exciting these, having cars like Joe Lepone, Mike Bowman. These are great, fast cars. These are 5-second door slammers. You've got all kinds of turbos, blowers, nitrous. This is exciting racing to watch.
Very, very much so. Some of the most exciting racing that you can remember is the old Pro Mod cars, and when we have those in that class and all the different body styles and engine combinations that we have in that class and our True 10.5 class, it gets some really exciting racing out there.
Well, the cool thing about this form of racing, the cars still look like cars. I mean, they're not so modified that you're like, what the heck is that? Is that a Mustang? Is that a Camaro? God, I don't know. I mean, the cool thing about this type of racing and these cars is you know exactly what it is, right?
That's right. That's right.
And I like the fact now we're seeing some numbers here. They were showing 630s. Later in the year, 224. I saw Mike Bowman make some 5-second runs, 590s. Joe Lepone stepped up and ran some 5s. A lot of fast cars. But, hey, it's not just them. You know, we've also got drag radial cars. Artis Houston made a huge run up at Bakersfield. We've also got 10.5 cars, True 10.
Hey, what about the little people like me, Lucky?
We've got the Quick Street. You know, Diana she runs in a bracket class, but you have to qualify.
Sure.
You have to be in the top level of the fastest cars in order to run the class. And, of course, I'm in the index classes. So there's a little of something for everyone. In fact, I believe you even recently have started a bracket program. Would you guys like to tell us a little bit about that?
I would. That's a very exciting venture for us. With 3 different weekends at Fontana and 2 bracket races at each weekend, it's a 6-race series that we're running with a championship that'll be crowned at the Edelbrock Museum in January, along with the rest of our champions.
What kind of trophy do you get for that?
It is an acrylic trophy, much like...
I'm trying to get one of those little Wally guys.
Yeah, you're wanting the Wally, aren't you?
Yeah. I want one of those puppies to put on my mantle. I've only been racing
Wally.
15, 20 years, and I haven't got one of those Wally things. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wally things.
Keep going, Rollie.
But the series is very exciting. It's a short series. You've only got 6 races to accomplish getting in the top 10 and being part of the award ceremony. But really excited about running our own bracket series for the first time.
Now, Camee, this is your first year being involved with the NMCA, but you're an individual with years of credentials. You've been around racing your whole life. And this has got to be an exciting deal for you to be part of NMCA.
It's really exciting. And, you know, one of the coolest things is, like you said, there's something for everybody. You see everything from the door slammers to the pro mods that are like totally, wild and with the big scoops and the turbos, and everything else. It's just the neatest thing. But, one of our coolest classes is called the Tremec True Street. And so these guys go out and they go on a 30-mile cruise. They're all street legal cars. They go on a 30-mile cruise to prove that they're street legal, and then they have to do 3 back-to-back passes. So, and it doesn't matter if you're brand new or if you're a seasoned racer, you still have fun in this class because you can go out. It's all the average. It's the best of your average ET. So it doesn't matter if you have a bad, time off the line. It doesn't matter because it's your average ET. Did I say that right, Rollie?
That's the best.
Yeah.
The
best
average of your best
of the
3 ETs
passes. Yeah. So
Nice.
it's really a cool class, and so there's something for everybody.
Nice. Well, tonight we're going to show some racing. We're going to talk to some interviews. In fact, earlier I mentioned Artis Houston, and Artis Houston is one of the probably one of the best well-known radial drag tire guys in the country. He competes at your event. He had a horrific crash last year. The car really took a beating, but we're hoping that he'll be back soon. I know he's building a new car. He's repairing what, from the aftermath. Let's check in with him.
Okay, wait a minute. A lot of people know, hey, they're always asking questions. How do we get on Speed Scene Live? You just seen it. Put the sticker on the car, you get an interview. Artis Houston, buddy. How you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
We're doing good, man. It's a pleasure seeing you out here. Very popular driver out here. You got a big crowd. Got all your family.
Thank you.
Got your son, all his buddies out here.
Yep.
You enjoying the day out here in Southern California?
I am. It's really nice weather today. The weekend's actually pretty nice. It's been kind of up and down. It's cold. It's hot. It's a little bit in between this weekend. So if we can get some traction out there, to actually make for a very great race weekend. But it's always nice to have family and friends come out and support the whole deal.
Artis, we're new to NMCA, and of course we're at the historical Pomona, California, which is kind of nice to race here, right? Explain your class to us and what it takes and the numbers that you run.
Okay. My particular car, it's a stock suspension car. It's a 71 Nova. We run on what they call a 275 drag radial. It's a Mickey Thompson tire. It's much in the family of a regular street tire, however, it has a different compound, different things like that in order to control the 1900 horsepower so that we try to apply it with a type of motor like mine. It's a big block Chevy, 598 cubic inches, has Steve Johnson nitrous on it, have AFCO shocks on it, lamb brakes, BES heads, a lot of good parts on it. It definitely allows for it to run pretty good. So far it's been 741 at 188 and a quarter mile.
Wow, 741 with that, folks. Hey, Artis, it's great having you on the show. We are going to try to catch you out on the track later. I know you got one more qualifier,
yes. So
we'll try to get you out that, and we'll check in with you later after that run, and as for the whole weekend. So it's been a pleasure having you on Speed Scene Live.
Great, I appreciate you guys' time. It's just lovely. Thank you. You guys have a great one.
All right, man. Take care.
Thank you, you too.
All right.
Artis, we hope to have him back soon, but Camee, while we were watching the interview, we were started talking about autocross. I was in an event last weekend where there was a lot of autocross going on, and there will be autocross at the NMCA West.
Yeah, Hotchkiss Sports Suspension is putting on, John Hotchkiss is putting on the autocross, and it's so much fun. It's like, even if you don't really know how to do autocross, he'll show you how. So don't be afraid, and there's nothing to hurt except some cones and maybe your ego. So, it's a lot of fun, and it's $50 if you just want to do it one day, and it's $75 if you want to do both days. So if you're not into doing the drag racing, you can go do the autocross. So it's kind of a cool thing.
Dynamite, didn't you do a ride along in an autocross?
I did do a ride along with Sal from TCI last weekend at Pomona, and it was a blast. We kind of got in the car together. I had my own helmet, and I right before we got ready to take off, I patted him on the knee and I said, "Okay, go fast because I'm not afraid."
I'm not.
This was the TCI
as her
Camaro.
Knuckles are turning white.
Yeah.
And he actually told me later, he said, I was so intimidated. I know she's a really good drag racer, and here she is telling me, go fast. Go on, don't be a baby. Drive the car hard.
He did a great job, and he got second place on Saturday, and he is an awesome autocross driver. I got to tell you, when we took off from a standstill, it threw me back in the seat. It doesn't look like they're going that fast when you're standing watching the cars, but when you're in the car and they're cranking some RPMs there, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And
it should be a lot of fun.
An autocross event like the NMCA West, this is a great opportunity if you got a performance car, maybe not a drag car, but anything else that can corner, take it out, punch it, hit the brakes, power slide through the corners.
So like my Mini Cooper, Lucky, would that be a good car?
Well, now you're an import, and this isn't an import event.
Okay. Well,
but if you had a Cadillac like this one right here, it would be perfect.
Even a station wagon,
some
like
kind
that
of front-wheel drive. Some kind of front-wheel drive. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to go through my my pool of cars.
Hey, how about if I bring my Mustang, my Celine?
Now you're talking.
We'll share,
All
okay?
right. That sounds
you're
fun.
talking.
And Lucky can buy by the tires.
There you go.
Well, how about if I just film instead?
Yeah.
It's cheaper that way.
I'm sure we can, between the two of us, we can find a tire
we'd have
sponsor,
fun.
don't you think? M&H is my favorite out there.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, Camee, I think you brought some free giveaways for us to give away to some of the viewers.
I did.
What do you got there?
I brought 5 packets so we can give away 5 prizes. Each of them have 2 passes, 1-day tickets, spectator tickets. So you can. So if somebody wins, they can bring their friend and show up one day for free.
Nice.
And then we have the latest issue of Fastest Streetcar in there, plus some other goodies to make it fun.
Now, here's the last issue. I don't know if this is the latest issue, but Joe Lepone, he's rocking the Speed Scene Live sticker.
Joe Lepone.
Look at that, Speed Scene Live right there.
I hope you're listening, Joe, because we're giving you a lot of love.
That's right. We'll be right back. Speed Scene Live returns with Rollie and Camee from NMCA.
At Aeromotive, we believe that performance means reliability, longevity, and durability. Being the best is no secret. By utilizing aerospace processes, procedures, technology, in-house engineering, true applications knowledge, and 3 generations of track experience, it's easy to see why we're the best. We take great pride in the fact that everything we sell, we design and make in the USA. See our entire line of fuel pumps and related products by logging on to aeromotiveinc.com. Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all. And every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
How many of you ever happened to see Speed Scene Live on your computer? You got a great show, and you have lots of fun. And I will be back on whenever I'm invited.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFoat.com.
We are back. Welcome back to Speed Scene Live. I'm Bruce Barker and Scott Lucky Hudson right there. Also in studio, Camee Edelbrock is here tonight, and as well, Rollie Miller. Diana Mite's on the phone right now. She's in here. Hot Rod Bob as well with the Great American Auto Scene. It is a packed show, Lucky Hudson.
Man, we got a lot going on. We're going to touch base with Hot Rod Bob Beck and the Great American Auto Scene just a little bit. Camee, I am on theFoat.com, and I'm reading crew updates, and somebody had a question here. It says, having a legendary father like Vic Edelbrock must be great. What's the best lesson Camee has learned from her father?
Well, shoot, I worked for my dad for over 27 years, and he taught me a lot of lessons. Probably the best lesson was to work hard, but then play hard. So, we always worked really hard, did everything we needed to do. And my dad wouldn't hesitate to get on a forklift and put stuff away in the warehouse and get his hands dirty, do whatever he had to do to get the job done. And so I learned that lesson too. It's not like, a bunch of suits sitting behind the desk. It was like everybody out there doing what we needed to do. And we were always a bunch of enthusiasts running the company, and we had a lot of fun. So, yeah, we had a little thing, the fun team, and so we had a lot of fun and got the job done.
It's so weird, the Edelbrock name. It's so synonymous with, like, racing, go-fast parts, and beauty parts, too. So much so that I almost forgot it was actually somebody's name. Like, there's a 58 Edsel stuck out there on the street right now, and it's got an Edelbrock air cleaner on it. And I tend to forget the fact that it's not just a brand name; it's actually somebody.
Yeah. My grandfather started the company in 1938, and he was out there with Wally Parks and all those guys, running across the dry lake beds, and they were tough. They were tough guys, It didn't matter what, they didn't have all the amenities and stuff. They were just out there racing. And my grandfather raced a 32 Ford Flathead, and it was his daily driver. So they'd take all the fenders off, take the top off, and race it, and then put them all back on and drive home. My dad remembers laying across the seat. He was that little when they were going to the dry lake. So it's a good history, and it's a great sport though, and a great industry that we're in.
Well, and you're bringing all that heritage to the NMCA, and it's a great organization that we support fully because they treat the racers really good. We like the way they treat the racers. The awards banquet.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Yeah, they go all out.
There's so many great companies like Curry and Hedman that are involved. Great, manufacturers, Midway.
And how about those jackets the top 10 guys get,
nice.
Lucky? Come on, you got one of those.
The leather jackets are great.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's very classy the way they go all out for the racers and have that banquet. It's really nice, and it's a reflection of the organization themselves.
Diana, Mike, who do you have on the phone there?
Well, let's go to line one. We've got someone that wants to talk about the race this weekend. We've got Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We're doing great, Carrie. Have you got a question for us?
I do. I am going to be going to the NMCA West event this weekend, and I'm a first-timer for the motocross, and I was wondering if Camee had a little bit of advice for me, because I'm a little bit nervous.
Well, first of all, for the autocross, is that what you mean? You're going to do the autocross?
The autocross,
yes. Have fun is the first, my biggest piece of advice is just to have fun, because the more relaxed you are and the more you just have fun and listen to what people say. If you have any questions, ask John Hotchkiss. He is a certified master on the road course, so he can answer any of your questions. And I'll come out and check on you too and see how you're doing, because I'll be there, and I can't wait to meet you. But the biggest piece of advice is to make sure you're having fun and just stay relaxed and enjoy yourself.
Now, Carrie,
wonderful.
Carrie, you mentioned that you're coming out to race. Have you got friends and family coming out to the event to watch you participate?
Well, I don't know about that. I've got some family that may come out and help out, but for the most part, yeah, we're going to be out there this weekend, and I'm going to be out there with Hedman and you guys, of course.
Well, we are looking forward to having you out there, and how about if we give you a couple of free passes? Carrie brought some packages to give away, and you won't need them because you'll be participating, but you could give a couple passes to some of your friends and family.
Yeah, I just happened to bring 2 tickets that you can give to your family members.
So why don't you hold on the line after this call, and I'll take your address, and we'll get those off to you. How's that?
Outstanding, you guys. I look forward to seeing you out there.
Great.
Oh, Carrie Ann, 2 tickets to paradise. There you go.
And
good luck.
And one of the things that's important about this phone call is that NMCA is a great place for people that haven't competed. Mm-hmm. You can show up, you can race, there's no intimidation, everybody's friendly, it's welcoming. If you show up and say, hey, I've never done this before, there'll be a bunch of people that'll help you out and get you going. And I think that anybody could have a ball.
Well, and I wanted to say earlier that one of the things I've told my boss, Steve Walcott, he's the one that runs Pro Media, which puts on all these races. And he reminds me a lot of my dad, and that he has a thing called the Pro Pledge, and it's all about customer service. It's all about taking care of the racers and making sure that everybody has a good time. So when I started working for Steve, I said, my gosh, it reminds me of Edelbrock in a lot of ways. So it was just a really easy segue for me to make. And, everybody might think I'm, kissing my boss's fanny a little bit, but that's not true. Really, it's not
true.
I believe it.
You're just doing it the appropriate amount.
Yeah.
But, speaking of kissing people's fanny, I would like to bring Hot Rod Bob Beck onto the show because nobody, there's nobody else out here that does it better. Bob, welcome back to the show.
I'm back. Yes, I am. Here I am. Look, I can sit down low and yeah.
Wait a minute. And you know what? While you're doing your segment,
yes.
How about we go ahead and give away another free pair of tickets to the first caller that calls us at 800-809-0802. It's a toll-free call. Give us a call. Dynamite will pick it up and get your information. 800-809-0802.
It's kind of like the NMCA telethon. Call in, make your pledge. Get your
Except you don't have to give any money, and it's for 2 free tickets for Saturday or Sunday. So.
Win-win deal. Bob, what are you going to talk about tonight?
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Beck, and you've got gas here on Speed Scene Live, and we're going to talk about something that, other than racing, other than hot rodding, that was really active and popular here in the 50s and 60s in Southern California, a hotbed. It was custom cars. Now, I'm not talking about lowriders. I'm talking about customs, cars that were restyled to look beautiful. And one of the premier shops that did it, no, not Barris. No, we're not talking about George. He did a lot of gimmicky things and a lot of nice cars. But the guys that were really craftsmen was Valley Custom Shop in Burbank, California. They put out some beautiful machines. You're going to see a few of them coming on screen in just a moment. But they were fabricators. They took a gas station and made a premier custom shop out of it. And one of the leading cars that came out of that was... It was built for Jack Stewart, one of the lifetime members of the LA Roadster Club. He's been known for more than just roadsters. He had the great Polynesian. You're going to see that in just a bit. But a lot of the cars were classic customs. They sectioned them. Like, there's the car right there. That's an example.
My.
That was an Oldsmobile. And they built that car in their shop. They didn't have formal training. It was Neil Emery and Clayton Jensen, his brother-in-law, that worked at this shop, and they learned hands-on. They used lead. This is before the days of Bondo. This is before the days of pro paint shops with spray booths and all sorts of things. Here's a shot from over the hills in Burbank.
Oh, that's cool.
One of the hot rods they built was the Don Spencer machine, and it is gorgeous today. It was restored a number of years ago by Don Roscoe, and it is just flat amazing. But you've got to look at the cars that came out of the Valley Custom Shop. They are beautiful and tasteful. There's no gimmicky. It's not form over function. It is form that was just gorgeous. They took cars, they sectioned them, they lowered them. They made lowering kits that didn't impede your driving. Here's a shot of them working on a car, and this is all metalwork, guys. That's a Rambler they're working on.
That's beautiful.
They can make a Rambler look good. Come on.
Wow, that's quite an achievement.
Now, here's a shot of the Polynesian under construction. The top shot, the top quarter is what it looked like, done. And you can see in the lower shot just a dusty old Oldsmobile. They took 4 inches out of the side of the body. And if you look, it's not just simple straight cuts. And in the days, this is before air nibblers and electric cutters. This was all done by hand.
That is so much work.
And these guys did some amazing work. You can find examples of their customs all over and the influence they had still. You see at the West Coast Customs Show and others that people try to emulate what they did. That car was just, and there's a picture of Jack with hair and all. And I mean, it just, the car was beautiful. You'd never know that was an Oldsmobile. The bumper actually molded into the body. Wow. The body was cut to fit around the bumper. The wheel arches were opened up. As you can see, there's a better shot of them sectioning the body on that car.
You know,
now, I don't know where the next cuts were on that rear fender, but as you can see, it molded in. Yeah,
those are the kind of cars that you almost need a tour guide to show you all the things that are done to them. You know, Chip Foose showed me one of his works a long time ago when I was doing the overhaul and stuff, and he gave me a tour of his car and showed me that, you know, every angle is a triangle, and I wouldn't have seen that really. But this is the kind of car that you're talking about, that you really need a little tour guide to see everything.
It is, and that's how Chip does it. You don't see gimmicky things on Chip's cars. You don't see things that are not there for a purpose or not done to enhance the looks. This Ford was a friend of mine's car. Well, his uncle had it built, and his name was Ron Dunn. And Gary Rand, his nephew, ended up with the car after Ron passed away. Unfortunately, Gary passed away just a few years ago. The car is being restored, or has been restored, and did show up at the Grand National Roadster Show this year. That was one of the cars that gained them a lot of popularity and notice. It appeared in so many magazines. And there it is in the hills of Burbank, alongside what it looked like stock.
Okay, I wanted to make sure of that. That is comparing it to the stock Ford.
That's great.
God, it's amazing the difference.
3 or 4
Look at
inches
the difference
out of the side. It made that car look very European.
Yeah.
The styling was great. And, you know, too bad Ford did finally catch on. You look at some of the later cars, and they narrowed the belt lines and opened up the wheel wells. The rear fenders, look at the taillights. They're handmade. This isn't bubble wrap. This isn't stuff you can go to the store, go over on one of the websites, and I'll buy that. That'll work.
No.
Now, here's the great Roadster that I was talking about. This was a shot done in Burbank, just around the corner from where he lived. And they set this up, you know, kind of guys oogling over a girl in high school, crossing the street. And this car lived on. I saw the car when Donna Roscoe was restoring it a number of years ago. And the bodywork is just flat amazing. It is all done by hand.
And it survived, too.
It survived and is now even better than it was when first built.
It's a piece of art, really.
Yeah, it just sold. I think Roscoe sold it last year at Barrett Jackson, and it just garnered a big amount of money. Now, here's that Ford we showed a little while ago. This is in one of its incarnations. Now, I saw the car when it was gold. But this is when it was like a candy apple red in front of one of the Burbank fire departments.
Yeah, back when they wore ties.
Yeah. You're fighting a fire with a tie. Hopefully,
look at those fire trucks.
Yeah.
Look how cool those fire trucks are.
The France fire trucks. I mean, you just drop them a little bit lower. But custom cars were a hotbed, and I remember in California, when I first moved to California, I lived literally on Van Nuys Boulevard, where a lot of these cars cruised. And I'd go down to a place, it was called Oscars. It was a drive-in restaurant on Van Nuys Boulevard, and that's where the custom guys would meet. And that was before the term lowrider. These cars, the cars you saw driving on the street and then at the car shows. And this led to what has become, I think, the lowrider movement. They are customizing the cars. Of course, the candy paints, the panel painting and things of that nature, but the restyling started in Southern California. You had the Valley Custom Shop, and then others throughout the world started emulating what was happening here in Southern California, just like with your dad's and your grandfather's 32s. That's what did it. But the hotbed in California, it was cars. Didn't matter if it was hot rods, customs, or race cars.
Well, and you were right in the center of it on Van Nuys.
Oh, yeah. I lived right across the street from the GM plant.
Oh my goodness.
So, you know, it was literally...
No wonder he knows so much.
Oh, yeah.
You cut his finger, he bleeds motor oil.
By the way, a bit of a trailer here, Bob. I know you're going to wrap this thing up soon. I wanted to make sure we gave props to the people sponsoring your segment
Sponsoring gas tonight is the movie, The Snake and Mongoose. Here's a little bit of a trailer on it, and while we're playing that, a shout-out to Martin Chesworth in Great Britain. He contacted me before the show tonight to say he was going to make sure and watch. I said, well, I'm going to make sure I say hello to you. So, Martin Chesworth in Great Britain, you have a great day.
Nice. Hey, and you know, there's so much great feedback about this movie. If you get an opportunity to buy the DVD, every racer should have one.
It is great. McClellan and I sat together during the premiere, and we talked about it afterwards, and he had seen minor cuts. He did the voiceover on the movie.
Wait, you actually sat with McEwen?
No, not with that Tom. No, with Big Mac.
Oh, okay.
McClellan.
No, okay.
I was just. Donnie was actually sitting with Tom.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, no. That's another story altogether. And McClellan was really impressed with the movie. He had not seen it. He had only seen clips that he was talking to or pieces he was talking about, and he redid all of his voiceovers from the original tapes.
Well, what do you know?
He was very impressed with the movie. And all of us were, actually. We didn't know what to expect coming in. Once we saw it, it's a great movie. You've got to see it. And it's available right on their website. You can go to snakeandmongoose.com and check it out. It's just been released. You can get it. You can get posters. You can get banners. You can get all the memorabilia for the movie. But get the movie. It is a great movie, a testament to drag racing and the two racers and their lives.
Hot rod history.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, you can either, you won't be able to click on the website you see on your screen, but even if you forget the whole thing, just hit Google, Snake and Mongoose. It'll show up all
It'll
over.
come up. Boy, will it ever.
Yeah.
Great job, Bob.
Thank you.
Man, that's great. And, it's nice having Camee kind of weighing in, Camee adding a little bit to your commentary. I like that. Nice balance right there.
You said I could talk.
I like that. Thank goodness.
Right now, you've got to feel like because Diana's on the phone getting all those calls around NMCA. So
Yay.
you guys got to stay here.
That's great. No problem.
Well, Rollie, tell us a little bit about this upcoming event. Racers can start to roll in this Thursday at Fontana at 12 noon. And I'm assuming they roll in the big gate, and the guard will tell them where to go.
Actually, this year for the first time, we're not just parking on Thursday, but you can get your tech, your registration, and parked all on Thursday if you want to. And then on Friday, we'll start a test and tune at 9 a.m. We can get on the racetrack pretty early on Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Nice.
Before we start off with our first qualifying session on Friday afternoon.
That's great, and then there's of course there'll be a few racers that are rolling in on Saturday, that maybe can't get off work, but it's great for racers that have the opportunity to be able to make some passes down the track. And I'll be there in the Currie rear ends, Hedman headers, Aeromotive fuel systems booth, and I'll be having all the Novas right there. I've got some Speed Scene Live stickers to hand out, and you can come on down and meet Dynamite live in person. You can meet me, but I'm not that live in person.
I'll be there too. Give me
Camee,
There, another live person.
Now, Camee,
another live person.
You're the marketing person for NMCA, right?
I'm the director of marketing.
Director of marketing. I'm sorry, I didn't have the title, but what do you do at the actual event? We know Rollie's going to be working hard. What is it you're going to be doing?
I bug Rollie, as best I can. What I'm doing is I'm going to be running a survey to find out more about our fans. So I'll have a little booth set up next to the Power Mall, the store that we have out there, and just have a little survey, and we have some free goodies to hand out, and I'll just be doing a little research.
Now, this is Walker Racing El Camino, one of the pro street cars, super fast cars. This is probably the fastest El Camino in the country right now. And we're going to have all these different classes going on. Now, I wanted to mention Doug Crumlich is the championship in your what's that class called? The Pro Comp class.
Pro Comp class, yes.
And what that class is it's specially designed for people like Doug that's a super class racer. He races Super Comp, Super Gas, 400 tree, 990 index, electronics, delay boxes are all good. And this is an opportunity for all you racers that do race NHRA and race in the super categories. You can come out here and play, same number, same setup, and have a shot at winning and racing and getting some track time.
Exactly. It's a lot like a triple index class. It's a 790, 890, 990 class with a staggered tree. So it's a pretty cool class where it doesn't matter if you're racing super gas or super comp in NHRA, you can fit into this and pretty big payout for it too.
That's nice. That's a nice deal. And of course, the quick street class, which Diana she's going to be racing in.
I will be racing in that, and you know what? I'll be doing my best, going as fast as I possibly can. Now that I have that new transmission that you put in, Lucky.
There you go. Work hard, you get the payoff.
That's right. And
Nice.
soon enough, I'll have that race motor back in my car. Yeah, I won't be racing with that spare motor anymore. I'm going to have a nice new fast race
So
motor.
I have a question. Why don't you guys race against each other?
Because we don't want to. I was going to go, you know,
because you would beat him. That's
no,
why.
No, actually, he always makes sure his car goes faster. So he's a smart man. You know, think about it. Would we really want to race in the same class and race against each other and one of us beat the other? I don't think that's wise.
Yeah.
I think he's a very wise man doing it the way he does.
You know, the deal is we have different types of cars. Her car is very nice, very factory original. They're both Nova SS's, but my Nova, I actually bought at the swap meet as a rolling body. And so it's not quite as nice. It's tube chassis, and her car is more of an original car. So they're different applications.
Right, and mine just has a simple little row bar. It's not fully caged. It's just to go 10 seconds or slower. His is all modified. What do you got? Yours? I mean, you can go 7 seconds or 8 seconds in yours, Lucky?
Well, it's a 750 car, but
Okay.
I don't have the dinero to run that fast.
Yeah.
Now, but there are a lot of fast cars out there, and fast even dragsters. We're talking a lot about door cars tonight, but there is a class for dragsters. There is the super quick class that our friend Ed Krizwicki races in. You'll see a bright green dragster with Speed Scene Live stickers, and he has won the event, got his Wally up at the Bakersfield track, and really loves NMCA. And what he does is he takes all. You can run electronics. He takes them out. He runs it full on, runs sevens. Has a lot of fun, and you know what? He's told a lot of people that run the Super Comp and these classes, hey, forget about throttle stops, man. Come on out, have some fun, run really fast, have a good time, and the NMCA is the best place to do it.
So tell me, what do you guys think about that new Fontana track? We've been out there a couple times. We've checked out that wall, that the sponsor wall, which is very nice. I see Lucas is up there. Who else is up on that wall? Is it Auto Club, I believe?
On the sound wall?
Yeah. I think there were like 3 or 4 different sponsors up there, and I think it's an awesome opportunity for any sponsor that wants name recognition to contact the Fontana track and get your name up on that wall. Get it up on there before they're all gone. What do you guys think about that track?
Oh, I think it's a great idea. It's really nice to be talking about a track that is
Southern California.
In Southern California that didn't close. That's actually open and open for racing, and it's really exciting to have that. And we know from talking to all the racers that they're really excited to have the track open and running again. And I think anybody with their name up there will be really smart.
Yeah, I think the
Dad.
the dad. Yes.
Oh, man.
The facilities are going to be wonderful. They've got some new stands up there, and I really see with what we had in our community with when the different tracks were closing and going away, and we had some street racing, which we don't want the kids doing. We want them at the track. I think Fontana is an asset to our community.
But we were talking earlier about Joe Lepone, and Camee was saying that we were showing Joe Lepone some love on the show. We actually have a final, and we've got a winner circle interview with Joe Lepone, and he was running his car down in the final against Mike Bowman, and they went ahead and made a quick pass, and here's what he had to say afterwards.
Joe, congratulations. It's like a storybook deal. I mean, we've been following you all weekend, round by round. We've been doing interviews, and here we are, meeting up in the winner's circle.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I have to give some credit to this decal. This decal has won. This car has won every round since the decal's been on it. Unfortunately, the decal, I put it higher than anybody did. First round, it ripped off and went a couple 100 feet high. So we had to put one as close as we could to the carburetors to the fuel injectors. It makes them very happy. Without that Speed Scene Live, we'd have never won. I got to credit everybody out there because you do a great job. Get us fans, get people knowing what we're doing, and we really appreciate it. The D-Bar-D Racing team and the Pat Musey powered Duster.
Joe, this has got to be a very sentimental win for you. Isn't this the location here at Pomona, your very first pro stock win ever?
Yes, my very first post taco was here, and it's like I didn't realize it until just a little while ago that I got another one here, and it was pretty good. I mean, we had a runner-up last year, and we won this race, so this is my favorite track, and it's hard to say because I'm 3,000 miles away in Pennsylvania. But Speed Scene Live makes it all worth it.
Aww. Joe Lepone. Pomona loves Joe Lepone. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Lucky. Thank you.
Oh, man, what a great interview. What a great guy. Now, another guy that was out there racing was Rick Snavely in the Bothwell car. And I've known the Bothwell people for a lot of years. They were running in Sport Compact. They're incredibly focused team that happens to have one of the best buffets in their pits.
Oh, nice.
So let's catch up with Rick Snavely, and let's find out a little bit about him and his car. And
here's the Turbos Direct Mustang. This is the Bothwell crew chiefs. Two brothers. They came out of Sport Compact. They dominated Sport Compact. They wiped out every competitor in their class so bad that they were the only car in their class. Nobody even wanted to compete against them. They came out here and started running a Mustang, turbo-powered Mustang. They've had some tragedy in the past. Had a really bad accident at Las Vegas. One of their cars actually got sideways, went airborne and flew over the wall, but they're back stronger than ever. Look at that car carry the front wheels for the first 100 feet. That car was beautiful, beautiful. Talking to Rick. Rick, you've got one of the most professional and probably the biggest teams out here with the Turbos Direct Mustang. You guys are an exceptional team to reckon with, and you've had some great success. It must be a real pleasure for you as a driver to have crew chiefs like the Bothwells and have all these people behind you giving support. It must be really special to you.
It sure makes things good. I mean, we have such a good team that backs everything we do. That, you know, with Turbos Direct, and they gave us some good parts this weekend, some new billet wheels and the turbos, and just up the performance that much more. It's the first time we tried this. Really get down the track on a small tire, and we actually finally got it to work is because of these guys. You know, the hard work everybody puts in.
Well, you've had some ups and downs, but you guys always eat better than anybody else on the track.
That's right. That's why my wife loves to come too. She loves eating the food and hanging out with me and my daughter too.
Congratulations. Anybody besides Turbos Direct you'd like to mention?
Well, we got to. I mean, obviously Bothwell Motorsports is a huge portion of this whole thing, and Turbos Direct, and we just want to say thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a little bit of time, and we're going to talk to Rollie and Camee about the big Pomona NMCA West event that's coming up May 15th through the 18th right here in Southern California at the historic Pomona track.
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at currieenterprises.com. That has served to defend our great country and our freedom. All of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online. Mention the Speed Scene and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. mandhtires.com.
Hi, my name's Joe Lepone. I'm the driver of the Darrell Hubbard D-Bar-D Racing Pro Street Camaro National Record Holder car. And when I'm not driving and tuning that car and working with my great crew, I'm watching Speed Scene Live.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and thefote.com.
Oh, yeah, and it's another Tuesday night. You're live with Dynamite. Yes, I have my little flower here my favorite fan gave me. He even called and said hello tonight. We've got Scott Lucky Hudson. Oh, yeah, he's on the computer. We all think he's ignoring us, but he's really not. We've got Camee Edelbrock. Camee, say hi to everybody. Yes. We've got Rollie.
Oh, man.
And Raleigh's telling us how to run the races, how to make everything happen. He's the man.
Well, he's a little less bubbly than Camee.
It's okay. And we've got Bruce back there. He's handling the controls. He's the mastermind behind all this. We got Bob over here. He's tickling me a little bit on the thigh.
what's
but,
that? Is it-
you know, we're going to let him. Yeah, we fit him in somewhere. He's a good guy. Ooh, look at that Camaro.
Isn't that nice? Hey, Camee, we were talking during the commercial break about the upcoming Pomona, and we're so excited because that's our one of our favorite places to race. And you've got some interesting news about the Pomona NMCA West event.
Well, like you said earlier, you get to race on that historic track, which is so cool. But one of the neatest things is that you can go online right now and buy tickets, and racers can get $50 off the regular price, and it's NMCAdigital.com/Pomona. So you can NMCAdigital.com/Pomona, and you can buy your tickets in advance. Spectators get 50% off, so it's a pretty good deal, you know. But one of the neat things that we're doing this year, Bob was talking about street rods, and the car show this year is going to have several new classes just for street rods. So the big giant car show is even better. It'll run 2 days, so they give out awards both days, and it's a really cool event. So everybody should show up and be there. We'll all be there too.
That sounds great. Now, Pomona has a lot of stuff going on, and of course, it's a great track. A couple years ago, you ran it in the middle of summer, and some racers showed up, and they didn't have fun because it was the hottest weekend of the year.
It's Southern California, Lucky. What do you expect?
Well, I'm just letting people know that
it's going to be hot in July.
that last year they
Bring
moved
some
it to
water.
May.
Okay.
They moved it to May. The weather was perfect. The track was great. We didn't have any issues. Everybody was happy. It's still in May.
Okay.
So we're not going to have that super hot August weather that happened the very first year. That was just the only weekend that was available.
But remember, it's not NMCA that controls the weather. It's Mother Nature. So if you're going to get mad at anybody, get mad at Mother Nature.
Oh, I don't get mad, Dynamite. I get even on the racetrack. Yeah.
Them fine words.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Whatever.
Now you mentioned people signing up for Pomona and how they could do it.
Yes, I did.
And you mentioned the car show at Pomona.
Yes, the car show.
And
wasn't there something special about the car show you were telling us?
Well, the street rod classes.
Okay.
That's what's so cool about it. That we've added street rod classes this year.
And so what does that consist of? Because to the non-car show racer type person.
The older hot rods, the 32 high boys, the Model A's, the cars that Bob was talking about.
Sure.
Those are street rods in my book, and open up a Rod and Custom or Street Rodder magazine, and you can see the kind of cars we're talking about.
From what year to what year specifically?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what year they stop. But Bob, what year would?
But there's no cutoff for
no,
the
there's
event.
really not a cutoff.
So any car
So
street rod.
It's a style. It's not so much a year.
1927 to
You got
32.
Model got Model Ts to 1948 is some of the cutoff because
okay, here we go.
It used to be 48 was the cutoff for hot rods.
Yeah.
So
but that doesn't apply to this event.
it doesn't apply to this event. But bring out your hot rods, bring out your Ts, your 32s, your Model A's, your little T
32 high boys.
Yeah, little.
Yep.
And then
46
bring out your coupes.
Woodies,
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring out my 48 Plymouth Coupe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, Camee, I got another question here on the Fote.com on the crew updates. They want to know, how was the event in Florida? It was just last weekend, I think. And, of course, NMCA, NMRA, nationwide series.
Well, I was at the NMRA event in Florida, and it was awesome. We had a record crowd on Saturday. We had more racers than we've ever had, and it was an awesome event. Rollie was at the NMCA event last weekend, so I'll let him talk about that.
Both events were really good. The NMRA event, we debuted 2 brand new classes, Coyote Modified, and we brought back Pure Street after 3 or 4 years of not being around. And had great success. I think we had 12 or 13 of the Coyote Modified cars that dipped down in the 840s already. So really cool on that end. The NMCA event, we had, I think it was 12 Pro Mod cars at the first event of the year. Huge bracket race, awesome bracket series. We doubled our purse there and had a little over 60 bracket cars in Super Pro and quite a few in Pro. And a spectacular event. Great fans, great car show. Everything was good.
Well, they have to have an acronym for every single thing out there, Rollie. So share with us these acronyms and what they mean for the viewers that maybe don't know what they stand for.
Like which
one?
What
does acronym mean?
Which one?
The abbreviation. NMCA. ABCD. Yeah.
NMCA, National Muscle Car Association.
And the other one?
National Mustang Racing Association.
Mustang Racing Association. Very good. Thank you.
That's right. And a couple times a year, you combine them both. You have a big event and tons of cars. And, of course, the Mustangs can compete at the the National Muscle Car Association.
Okay. But the cool thing is that they've actually brought it to the West Coast. So that's where we get NMCA West, right?
Okie dokie.
Right. Thank you, Mom.
Hey, don't go there, Camee, all right?
Kidding. She's not. She's my sister more.
Yeah.
I was teasing.
Okay, now have we...
There's a long staircase on the way out of
here.
You were
giving us a lesson, so...
Have we got everything in about this upcoming event? Have we given out all the information that you wanted to express tonight?
Very much so. The big thing I wanted to bring out here was the 2-day bracket race. A huge bracket series that we're kicking off this weekend for the first time in NMCA's history. And really looking forward to that, along with all our heads-up and index classes as well. But we're going to have some fun this weekend.
And, Camee, you'll be out there. You'll be talking to the fans, the racers. The weather looks perfect. Hot Rod Bob's going to be cruising around.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Okay, good.
I got to get down there.
Are you going to rally race the 48?
Oh yeah. I'll go into the autocross, and I'll see if I can score the most pylons in a single run.
He should be good because I've seen him take out tons of cones before, so he's good at that.
But usually the highway workers get a little scared when I'm doing that.
Yeah. Diana's got a hot
story
call
altogether.
Let's go to line one. We've got a caller. His name is Rick Borski, and he's from Norwalk, Ohio.
Oh, that's the nicest track around. That Norwalk
he
track.
wanted to mention something. Rick, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Hey guys, hey Lucky, hi Diana, it's Rick Gorski. How are you?
Hey, Rick, great to hear from you. That Norwalk track is beautiful. It's Disneyland compared to every track in the world.
Oh, we appreciate it. We're very proud of it. It's Billy Bader, and they really take care of it. And you would think with such a big track, little classes would get lost in the big NMCA, the big meet. The NMCA treated every single class guest like it was the only class there.
Wow.
There was so much sponsor support. Lucas Oil, Diablo. I was involved with the Hemi Shootout, the third-gen Hemi Shootout. They treated us like we were the only class there. It was so amazing.
Isn't that refreshing?
It was extremely refreshing. It gives the normal average guy a real positive outlook on the whole, racing scene again.
Thank you so much for sharing that. We really appreciate it.
Rick, I found the same thing too. Racing in my class, and I was lucky enough to be top 10, and they gave us these beautiful jackets, and I just really felt like the NMCA told me as a racer, hey, we're happy you're here. We want to do a good job for you. We want to make you happy, which compared to some, associations, maybe they're not all that way.
Yep. Well, Rick, we want to thank you for calling in.
Hey,
Thank
Rick.
you very much, guys.
Rick, before you go, I got to say, those Firecore 50 plug wires are the best wires around, man.
Hey, thank you very much, Lucky. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Take care.
Talk to you later, Rick.
Take care,
Bye.
guys.
Hey, well, we're at the top of the hour, just about ready to go off. We want to let everybody know, come on down to Fontana this weekend. Lucky and I will both be there racing our Curry Racing rear end cars. We'll have that booth in the Midway showing our Curry Racing rear ends, our 9 inches, as well as our Hedman Hustler headers and our Aeromotive product line. We're real proud of all of our sponsors, and we want to thank all of them for allowing us to not only be here on Speed Scene Live, but to be at all the racetracks to see you.
That's right. And next week, we've got a bunch of great stuff. I'm going to talk to Diane. She's going to be live in studio. That's the young lady I'm going to be match racing at Verona. Also, we're going to go all the way back east. We've got a dyno challenge. We're going to talk to the people that are involved with that. They've been doing it for a long time. Yeah, talk. Numbers don't lie. We're going to find some good numbers. Here's some people turning some serious horsepower. All that next week right here on Speed Scene Live. And I guess we'll have to give you an update on the NMCA West at Fontana. What do you think about that, Diana Might?
I think so. We want to thank Camee and Rollie for coming in tonight. We had a great show. Thank you, guys.
It was fun to be here.
Oh, so much fun. Not enough time, too much fun. Wait a minute, there's never too much fun. All right, coming up, the encore presentation of tonight's show. In case you missed anything, I probably missed something. I'm going to watch. Hope you will, too. Be sure to join us 1 week from right now, right here. It's Speed Scene Live. Good night.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFoat.com.